sobbing again, but this time it went on and on until she lay on her side, gasping for air like a dying fish on the dock beside the boats down at the quay.
Katie! Jesus, can't you shut that kid up?
Katie rolled herself into a tight ball, hugging the thin blanket around her shoulders. Her hands were stiff with cold, her feet nearly numb, even though she had climbed into bed in her heavy shoes and socks. She tried to picture her pretty dream house again, and all the lovely dresses, the plates piled high with hot food. When the images would not come, she looked up at the frosted window pane above her head. Between the ripped curtain and halo of frost crystals, she could see a sliver of moon, and one lone star shining in the night sky. She closed her eyes and wished upon that star, wished all of her dreams would come true. Then she opened her eyes, thankful that the moon was not full tonight. On moonless nights, it was easier for her to disappear inside herself and shut out the sound of Mama and the men. On moonless nights, she was less tempted to watch. But on nights when the moon hung full and heavy in the starless sky, she would silently turn away from the wall, stare through the milk-white light, and watch the shapes writhing on the bed. She would peer over the edge of her blanket and watch as Mama entertained the men who came scratching at the door. She must have fallen asleep, for the next thing she knew, Mama's hand was on her shoulder, shaking her awake. The room smelled of burning whale oil. The single lamp on the crate beside Mama's bed cast a weak halo in the corner.
Katie, get up and put your coat on.
Mama stripped off the blanket and tossed her the ugly green wool coat that some little girl across town had outgrown. They had found it in the bottom of the Christmas charity box that the self-righteous do-gooders, as Mama liked to call them, had left sitting on the front stoop last year. Suffering through another fit of coughing, wiping rusty phlegm on the sheet, Katie sleepily protested.
It's still the middle of the night, Mama.
Get up. We have to go.
Where? Where do we have to go in the dark? It's cold out,
Katie whined. Mama didn't answer. Katie pulled herself up, climbed off the bed. Mama held her coat as she shoved her arms into sleeves that did not cover her wrists. She looked around for her faded red scarf, but Mama grabbed her arm before she could find it. Come on.
Where are we going?
Mama would not look at her, and Katie began to worry and wonder why she was acting so strange.
I'm sorry I keep coughing, Mama. I can't help it.
You almost lost me a night's wage. Before she could promise not to cough again, Katie doubled over with another spasm. Her mother pulled a tattered cotton hanky out of the bodice of her torn gown and handed it to her. Then she grabbed her by the wrist, dragged her across the room, and opened the door. Katie ducked her head to avoid the blustery wind that sailed in off the sea, and tried to keep up as her mother tugged her down one cold, deserted street after another. She knew most of the lanes near the wharf by heart. They had tread them since she could walk, she and Mama. They lived from hand to mouth, lived on the kindness of strangers and on the money that the sailors and fishermen paid Mama when she took them to her bed. When times were very hard, they lived on do-gooder charity. As they passed beneath a street lamp, she glanced up at the familiar lines and angles of her Mama's thin face. Her Mama was looking straight ahead, with her jaw set. They were climbing now, up the hill, away from the wharf and the ramshackle houses that lined the narrow byways and shops close to the water. Katie fought for breath as they walked uphill. Here the houses were larger, prettier. All around them were trees, part of a forest that had once grown all the way down to the sea. Well into unfamiliar territory now, Mama turned another corner. Barely able to do more than shuffle, Katie lifted her head and saw a tall bell tower and the steeple of a brick church. Her eyes tearing from cold, she struggled to read the sign on the front of the building. St. Perpetua's Church. Mama was fairly dragging her now, walking faster, more determined.